Alright, what's up? Hi everyone. My name's Justin if you don't know me. I'm an American student studying abroad in Nairobi right now for the next couple months. Recording my journey and posting whatever comes to my mind. Gotta wake up a little bit. So, based on the title and the thumbnail, you guys have an idea of what this is about. The elephant in the room, just got it again. Just actually trimmed it today, so it's fresh, nothing else there. I might be looking down a little bit. It's just bullet points, so I don't get lost and distracted, because I do that a lot, because I have ADHD like no one's business. But yeah, so this video is going to be pretty raw, not too much editing, and that's just because it's pretty genuine, and it's something that I really just kind of want to talk about without any pressure of editing and piecing and whatever. First off, a couple of things. One, it's not disease related. I don't have any situation where I would end up losing my hair. I'm very thankful, very grateful for that. This is a choice, partly, and we'll get into the reasons why. Also, this is sort of an homage to, there's a YouTube channel, Bald Cafe, that I listen to a lot and I watch a lot, and it's sort of like the mental health aspects of baldness and going bald and the relief as soon as you go bald, and just kind of like self-conscious, whatever else, and I love their videos, and so I wanted to make something similar to them, so all the credits go towards them for this video. And I also would just like to clear the air with everyone watching, if anyone's curious or anything like that. It's not something I'm afraid to talk about. I'm not ashamed of it. Very open, happy to talk about it. So if you have any comments or anything, leave them down below. As always, like and subscribe. All right, that's my spiel. Now let's get into it. So, I guess my baldness started in around high school. I'm going to try and put some pictures up, if I can find them, of my hairline, bald spots, and whatever else. And I noticed it back in like probably sophomore year, that it was going. Luckily, I can grow a beard, which is huge for going bald, because without it, I would look like an absolute baby. So I'm very glad for that. Sorry, I'm also looking over here because that's like, I'm looking at myself, but the camera's over. Anyways, see, I told you I'd get off topic. Anyways, so let me get a sip. Yeah. So back in high school, people would make jokes, and it wasn't ever like there wasn't no hate behind it. It's just people joking, you know, it's high school, who cares? And it didn't really bother me. But then I would go home and just kind of overthink, and, you know, brain would circle. I'm sure everyone knows what overthinking is like. Pretty miserable, but everyone does it, so it's just part of life. Yeah, so the jokes weren't really a big deal to me, but they did sometimes leave me thinking like, this is kind of unfortunate, because I can't really do anything to change this. Especially not in high school when I was 15, 16, 17, whatever. And I like kind of joked, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go bald, ha ha ha, and just kind of like brush it off, whatever. And then just over time it built up, and I was never really looking for relationships or anything, so I wasn't really like marketing myself the best in high school. My self-esteem was not the greatest. And so I was never really looking in a mirror. Like, I wouldn't really worry about it. You gotta put on whatever felt comfortable and walk out and do my thing, whatever. Because I was going to Florida for college. And so I was like, I'm leaving Massachusetts. I'm traveling 1,600 miles away. I'm not going to get tied down by any relationships or anything here. Well, then I get to Florida. Completely different game. There are a lot of people there. And my image actually started to matter to me, it was new. But it's definitely a good thing. It's definitely a good thing to have. Within moderation, obviously. But, sorry, I do a lot of ums and buts. Another sip, sorry. So, I got to college, and I started looking in the mirror, and I'd be a little more worried with how I look, who's looking at how I look, what's going on, like, just pretty much everything that hits you with self-esteem issues and whatever else. And so I started to really worry and think about it a lot. And as I was doing that, I was noticing it was receding even more. And, you know, I have a widow's peak already, and it just kept going back and back and back and back. And I'd be in class, and I would itch my head, like scratch my head, whatever. And just clumps would fall. It wasn't like clumps, but it was like definitely a good amount to notice, more than the usual person. And that was sort of kind of worrying. I was like, uh-oh, this probably isn't good. I know I'm losing my hair. There's male pattern baldness. And obviously that's what I got. So I just got bad pick of the cards, but honestly, it's not that bad. I like how it looks. I like how smooth it is. It gives me something to do, you know, shaving my head, whatever else. It helps me stand out in the crowd. It's a good thing. I do like it. And so back then I was not like that. Back then I was like, oh my God, my life is ending. I'm going to have no one. I'm going to die alone with 15 cats and maybe a dog or something. I don't really know. And so it really worried me all freshman year, but I didn't really tell anyone. I just kind of made jokes about it, whatever else. And then, what is it? Like the summer hit, and the summer, obviously, I'm outside a lot more. And for a good while, I was wearing hats. Freshman year, I grew my hair out a little bit, and I put on hats, and I was kind of covering it. But then by the summertime, I would wear hats, but not as much, just because I didn't really like the feeling, you know, I just kind of like to be free. But without the hat, it was kind of showing everything I didn't have on display. So it was a little tough, but anyways, so then I started using this stuff called Nioxin. It is a treatment supposed to help restore your hair, and it was working for a little bit. There was definitely improvement, and I recommend the product if someone's trying, if they have a little bit of loss that they're noticing and just kind of want to figure it out. It was working for a little bit, but not at the rapid rate I was looking for. And that's just a me thing. I'm a very impatient person. If you know me personally, you come to know that I'm pretty impatient. I can be patient with certain things, but not when it's something that it's like a product or something that I can do or change. What else? Yeah, so that didn't really work. And then I stopped using it eventually, just because there was a whole process of bringing like, it was a bunch of chemicals, and I was like, this is just a lot for if I'm traveling. I would go to like Orlando and stuff like that, and I'd have to bring these like extra big bottle. It was just too much. Which I much rather prefer just hotel random soap, because it's, you know, whatever. It's just easier. And so then I was just thinking one night, you know, all my friends, we go out to like parties and everything like that, and my friends are all going with people, they're going home with other people, and I was sort of like stuck where I'd be like, I would want to approach someone, and then I would get super self-conscious about it. And I just never would. And, you know, I never really put myself out there as much as I'd like to. And I knew Halloween was coming up, and Halloween was obviously a big social event. So, sorry, excuse me. No sip. I gotta start pacing myself in these videos. I'm like not breathing in the middle of my words. Just yapping out crazy. Anyways, Halloween comes. And I'm sort of thinking about it. It's on the back burner, whatever else, going through stuff. And I knew I wanted to actually do it after watching so much Bald Cafe and whatever else. I knew it was the next step for me. I just didn't know when. And then I got a great idea for Halloween, where I didn't just want to walk into class one day with no hair, no explanation for anyone. And so I didn't really want to explain it. I mean, this is the explanation now, so it's here now. But now I've had time to sort of process and control and just like figure it all out. And so I thought, if I pick bald Halloween characters, dress up as them, it looks like I'm just very committed to the bit, which I'm always committed to the bit no matter what. Everyone who knows me personally knows that. And I was like, this is my out. This is how I'm going to do it. So I went, my first Halloween party was on a Friday of this year. And so it wasn't my first in general, but you know what I mean, first of the year. Anyways, so me and my friend PJ, we went to, there's this barbershop across town from my school. It's like 30 minutes away. I love the place. They're really good at what they do. They do like all like the like hot towel. They go crazy. It's a little pricey, but it's a nice time. I love haircuts and I love all that. And they do beard stuff. And I knew they do a good job, so I wanted to have a professional do it for the first time, just to make sure that it looks right and the best it'll possibly look. And so, yeah, I went in there, and he turned me away from the mirror as he's doing it, and we're just like talking, yada, yada, yada. and people in the barbershop are like complimenting me, like, oh, here he goes, like, this is great, this is big. Like, everyone was super supportive there. That's another reason why I love that place. Everyone there is just so supportive. It's Elite Shave Club and social. I think it's like Elite Shave Bar and Social Club, maybe. In North Fort Myers, really good place. Love that place. They have like Joe Rogan on TV and whatnot. Anyways, this isn't a review video. And so I chopped it off, and then once he turned the chair and I saw it for the first time, it was like so many emotions, but they were all overwhelmingly good. Like, it was gratitude, it was like I finally did it, like relief, like it was an instant like like breath of fresh air. And I was obsessed. I was going like this for the next 3 or 4 days, and my head was mushy at the time because it was the first time I've seen like my scalp, so it's a little mushy the first couple times, whatever, because there's obviously no weathering up here. But I was absolutely in love with it. I got out to the car and I was just ecstatic. And the support from my friends and everything. Some people were a little bit like, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, you're a little young, which granted I was 19 at the time, and that is pretty young to go completely bald. But people know I dive into things. And, you know, with all like the self-consciousness and self-esteem issues, I knew that by doing this, I would be relieving so much stress that I didn't really need. And so that was sort of the reasoning. Chopped it all off, and it was just I was so happy about it, and the overwhelming impression from everyone else in my life. I mean, most people in my life was just like instant, it works, like it looks good. Like, we can tell you're like happier. We can tell you like this was really a good move for you. And I had some people in my life, like my family, whatever, they weren't as gung-ho about it. Which granted, they've never seen me without hair. I'm the youngest in the family, so I understand if it made them uncomfortable. They're used to it now, I think, hopefully. So it was amazing. And when I first made a post about it, just the outreach and the comments and everything, everyone was just so supportive of it, because a lot of people knew how self-conscious about it I was. And how much it really held me back, I guess, from being confident, which I'm usually a very confident person. And it was just so relieving and such a great time. And so I'm going to wrap this up somewhat quickly because we're 12 and a half minutes in. The maintenance, it really isn't that bad. I mean, it sounds like it's bad because it is probably 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, I get away with doing it once a week sometimes if I'm feeling lazy. But it's just shaving cream, the entire head, and then just a straight edge, and I have to go around and feel for any hair, and make sure I get it all so it's even and whatnot. First couple times I shaved, there was patches over here, and also because I'm using a straight edge, I would end up like cutting the sides of my head, which I still do a little bit, but it's not nearly where it was when I first did it. It was bad. It was just a lot of blood. But, you know, as time goes on, I'm practicing and maintaining it, and it's almost like a ritual now. It's like calming, where I just go and I'm like, it's like 30 minutes, and I just sit there in the mirror, just focus on that, listen to music and whatever else. And to be honest, just being able to look at a mirror for 30 minutes while I do that is such a great time. I'm so grateful I can do that now. Because before I would be nitpicking, be like, oh, look at that, oh, look at that, blah, 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 that's a weird freckle, blah, 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 blah. You know how it is. So, yeah, so yesterday I let it grow for probably a week and a half, maybe, just so I could really show you guys where my hairline is right now. If it was to grow back, it's not even. My widow's peak goes to about here, and then these are like here and here. They're uneven. So I'll put a picture right now I took yesterday showing that. Yeah, so that's my journey, that's my story, that's my reasons for going bald, and that's how it's really affected my mental health. It's so just overwhelmingly great. I can't say enough good things about it. If you're thinking about going bald, it is a huge decision. If you're not in the same case as me, you can always chop it all off and it'll grow back if you don't like it. There's also hats. There's some really cool hats out there. But yeah, so if you guys have any more questions about it, feel free to reach out in the comments on Instagram if you want to DM me or whatever else. My Instagram is also down below. It's jusgator on Instagram. So yeah, if you guys want to like the video, subscribe if you want, whatever else. I'm going to start doing weekend reviews, I think, just because that just seems a lot more manageable for me, and just bullet points of every single day. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Hopefully the next video will be out shortly being at least a couple days. Just bear with me as I try and figure out how to do all this. But yeah, so I hope you all found this interesting, enjoyed, and whatever else. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.